lactose, the fact that milk is for babies will certainly catch up with you by the time you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, in my experience.
And Al, does that count equally for cheese, for butter, for the similar food group that fit in the category of dairy? Like, so cheese is
Yeah.
equally as unhealthy, cream, butter.
Sure. I mean, there are other reasons to limit your consumption of those foods, because they increase your consumption of animal products. They may increase your consumption of saturated fats. They may contribute to a high fat diet, which is one of the issues that can cause problems for people with digestive health problems as well, with bile acid malabsorption and other problems. But with those fermented dairy products like yogurts, for example, the fermentation process has broken down most of the lactose. So the reason we have fermented products is essentially to do that. So to break down all of the lactose so that you don't get bloated and uncomfortable after you consume them. But even so, I mean, yogurt is often put out there as a universally healthy food, but there have been several studies showing that yogurt consumption promotes the growth of unhealthy bacteria within the gut microbiome. It's by no means settled science that yogurt consumption is good for your gut microbiome, while there are a lot of people promoting it. And in addition, when we look at all of the evidence of health outcomes in yogurt consumers, and there was a Cochrane review of this a few years ago. The Cochrane collaboration is a big independent scientific group that will perform systematic reviews on important health topics. When there was a Cochrane review of yogurt consumption and health a few years ago, it basically came down and said, yeah, we don't have any good evidence that yogurt is actually good for you. In fact, many of the intervention studies that have gotten people to eat yogurt as part of a weight loss plan finds that people who add yogurt to diet actually gain weight. It's not settled science that foods like yogurts and cheeses are good for you. Of course, when you're eating any food, Dave, or sorry, Steve asked that question. It's really about not is this food healthy, but is it healthier than something else I could be eating and enjoying? And if we're taking a lot of our daily calories from things like cheeses or cheese sauces or some of the other fermented dairy products, then we are potentially missing out on calories that could be coming from healthier plant-based sources. There's no fiber in dairy products, for example. And so for me, it's all about looking at, okay, this is healthy. So having a glass of milk is certainly healthier than starting my day with a glass of wine. So it's healthier than that. But is water a better thing to drink? Absolutely. Is black coffee healthier to drink, or decaf or tea healthier to drink than milk? Absolutely. Is there somewhere else that I could get my calories from and I could enjoy eating those and they would benefit my gut health? Absolutely.
Or even oat milk versus, or a plant-based milk versus, say, a breast milk. How do they compare?
Well, it depends very much on the plant milk that you're consuming. So because everyone equates milk with calcium, which is a whole other discussion, which again is about advertising. There's no science showing that milk builds better bones. That's just advertising, not science. Because everyone equates milk with calcium, most of the plant-based milks have calcium added to them to give people that reassurance that they're not missing out. But if you're going for a plant-based milk and you should be just viewing that as something purely about a culinary convention. I like having milk for my tea, my coffee, or I like to use milk in recipes. It shouldn't really be viewed as an important part of your daily nutrition. So you might look at a oat milk and say, oh, look, the full fat dairy milk contains more protein per serving than this particular brand of oat milk or soy milk, for example. But that's interesting, yes. But I don't think we should be viewing milk as an important part of our nutrition on a daily basis. If you want to use it from a culinary perspective, then any plant milk should be absolutely fine. But like all foods, just watch out for plant milks that add things like malted dextrin, carboxymethyl cellulose, and emulsifiers, etc. Probably going for, I mean, if I say to you, go for the least processed one you can find with the least number of ingredients that you can find, that's really good advice. some people, they'll come back and say, yeah, but now it's just water with a bit of oats in it. Sure, there's no nutrition in that. My response to that is milk shouldn't be part of your plan for your daily nutrition anyway, because milk is for babies. We need to be looking at the food on our plate when we're looking for sources of protein and calcium.